Hey guys, it's Harry here. Today I just wanted to do a quick analysis on the S&P 500. So the weekly close of the S&P for week commencing the 3rd of August was an all-time high breakout, and from what it looks like at the minute, it looks pretty valid. We had a really bullish run up there. We chopped around, we kind of built energy potentially for a next leg. So in this video, we're just going to talk about my thoughts on the S&P and why this actually could be a valid all-time high breakout. So yeah, it looks valid. If we look on the daily chart, we had a breakout and we had some stall in there, but it didn't just drop lower. It actually just held above its all-time high. As you can see here, above there, we held, we consolidated, which can be a bullish sign. By the way, I do have some weekly pivots on. So I wanted to show last week's pivot. For some reason on SPX, it always kind of shifts along. So I've also got last week's. For me, a really easy way to identify a strong bullish week is weekly pivots. So in my opinion, a close above R2 on the weekly is considered bullish. And we had a close above R3. So in my opinion, I'd be like, okay, cool, that looks very valid. If we look at here as well, just go back there. Again, look, a close above there on that week. So as you can see, above that R2 level. And in my opinion, that can really add fuel to a big move. So yeah, that's something you can maybe look at and test yourself, but it's an easy way to identify a truly strong week because of the calculation compared to the last week. It was a significantly bigger week than the last week because that's how pivot points are calculated. So wanted to talk about that as well. The S&P is also leading tech. So as we all know, there was a big washout of the memory semis trade. We had, Leopold Aschenbrands. We spoke about him a lot on the channel, being wiped out due to being leveraged. But it seems a lot of retail guys as well. There's been stuff in South Korea as well in their own stock market. So a lot of the tech leverage from that perspective seems to be washed out. So this could add a fuel to the S&P actually leading, which would be interesting because what we've seen over the last couple of years is tech's been the leader. So we could see more of that rotation stuff. This bullish week could also have came from a significant bounce in the likes of Microsoft, Palantir, some other stocks which have been really beaten down. They had extremely bullish weeks and they look like they're potentially going to have a little recovery. Could just be a short squeeze, who knows, but a rotation seems likely. So look, in my opinion, it's just a quick one, but the S&P breakout seems valid. It seems like we should be getting a big move, mainly because we've had a close above R3. I consider that a very significant week, and we've not just closed above, but we've actually held for a couple of days. So we had the closes there, and we held. So I would expect the S&P to make another move. I did see people online talk about we could be in the middle of a blow off top, or this could be the start of rotations for new leaders and new sectors to come back. I saw Nvidia had a bullish week. There's some other those major stocks which are maybe out of favor compared to some other stuff. They might be coming back into play, so it's going to be interesting. But wanted to talk about the S&P. This breakout does seem valid. Only time will tell, but I think this is a valid reason and a valid place to take swings, to take breakout trades on that weekly basis. So yeah, if you do want to keep updated markets, I do have a free newsletter. Links that'll be in the description. See you in the next one.